ask you a very simple and honest question. If you wake up tomorrow at 30, you turn 30, would you be proud of how you handled your money in your 20s? Or you will look back with regret, wishing you had done things differently when you have the time and energy? Here is the reality. Your 20s will either set you up for financial freedom or chain you to years of unnecessary struggle and stress. Now, most people don't realize this until it's too late. They think, oh, I'll figure out money later. But right now, I just want to enjoy life. But there's no later. But later never comes. And when it does, it comes with weight of debt, missed opportunities, and a mountain of financial stress that would have been avoided with a smart decision earlier on. Today, I don't just want to lecture you on saving more and spending less. No. All I want to do is to open your eyes to the real cost of not managing your finance in your 20s. I want to show you this little decision you make every day. The impulse purchase, the failure to budget, and the habit of ignoring investment. They all add up into a future you may not like. And then I will give you a clear path to follow, a way to take control of your finance right now, so that you can build a life of peace, security, and opportunity. So stay with me until the end, because I promise you this. By the time you finish this video, you will never look at your money the same way again. Hey there, I am Happiness Elijah, your money preacher. You know me. And in this channel, we talk about passive income, investment, and how to grow wealth. So if this is your first time coming across this channel, do well to subscribe. It means a lot to me. And turn on post notifications so you don't get to miss any video, because we are just getting started. Now, that being said, let's dive into today's business. Now, why your 20s matters more than you think. Let's be real. In your 20s, money feels like it doesn't really matter. You're just getting started. Let's say maybe you just finished school, or you're just figuring out your career path. At that point, everyone around you is broke, so it feels normal. You say to yourself, I'll start being serious about money later. For now, let me breathe. But here is the problem. Time is your biggest asset in your 20s. And once it's gone, you can't buy it back. You see, every 10k you waste today, it's not just money gone, it's future wealth erased. Imagine just saving 50k every month at 22. By the time you get to 42, you could be sitting on tens of millions of naira because of compound interest. Now imagine if you wait until you're 32 to start. You have less than that amount. That's the hidden advantage your 20 gives you, to multiply your income over time. And that's why your 20s matter more than any other decade. It's not about how much you're earning now. That's one thing you need to know. Every small amount invested and managed wisely can grow into massive wealth later. But if you waste these years thinking you have time, you will wake up one day realizing the clock has run out on your biggest opportunity. Now, the hidden cost of bad money habits. Now let's talk about the cost. Not just the obvious cost of being broke at the end of the month, but the hidden cost that silently drains your future. First, there's impulse spending. You see that weekend flex, that designer clothes, the endless food deliveries. They feel small at the time, 5k here, 20k there. But over the course of the year, you have spent hundreds of thousands on things that bring no lasting value. Multiply that over 5 to 10 years. You have literally burned millions that could have built businesses, buy land, or been invested to grow. I know people with wardrobe worth $1 million but could not handle a 50k emergency. That's the real cost of impulse spending. Then there's living paycheck to paycheck. Without a plan, your money controls you. You're consistently waiting for the next salary just to survive. You have no breathing room, and worst of all, you are just one emergency away from financial collapse. Studies have shown that most young people cannot cover a small emergency without borrowing. That means one hospital bill, one broken car, or even a lost job, everything comes crashing down. Now to add to that, the reliance on credit and debit for lifestyle. Swiping your cards or borrowing for things you can't afford in your 20s feel harmless. But the interest will cut you alive in your 30s. Every swipe today is interest tomorrow. And that's how debt trapped people for years. And let's not forget the absence of an emergency fund. Life is so unpredictable. From sickness to job loss to family responsibilities, all those stuff. Without saving, even small emergency can turn into big financial disaster. That's why people end up begging or borrowing for things that could have been covered if they manage money well. These are the silent killer. The cost you don't see on the surface, but are quietly cutting into your future. Now, what you're missing out? The truth is, the scariest part of not managing your money in your 20s. It's not about the mistake you're making, but the opportunity you're missing. Every naira you waste on things that don't matter is a naira you're not putting into things that could change your life. Buying property or investing in stocks. You're always saying someday I will start. But let me tell you, someday never exists. Or I will say it never comes. And the opportunity you miss today will never come back tomorrow. And it's not just about wealth, it's also about freedom. Money gives you the choice, the freedom to travel, to switch career, and the risk in saying yes to new opportunities without you worrying about how you will survive it. Without it, you're trapped in survival mode, always choosing the safer and small option because you can't afford to take changes. Poor money management always rob you of peace in relationships. Research has shown that the majority of fights in marriages and partnerships are about money. Imagine building your dream relationship only for it to be poisoned by constant financial stress because neither of you took money seriously when you were young. And here is the kicker. The earlier you start taking control of your money, the earlier you stop relying on debt later in life. But if you waste your 20s, you enter your 30s and 40s already playing catch up. And debt will become your default option. That's the real opportunity cost. Losing your future before it begins. Shifting your mindset from carefree to conscious. Now, this is where it gets more interesting. So let's break it down. How do you break free from this cycle? This is a question. Now you know it all starts with the mindset. The biggest lie we tell ourselves in our 20s is, I will start later. But later never comes. If at all it does, later becomes your 30, 40 and 50s. And by then, the cost of your mistake is so high. That's why you have to make the decision now. That your 20 is not for wasting. They are for building. Now, the second mindset shift is to see money not as something to spend, but as a tool. Every penny that comes into your hand is either a machine you send out to work for you, or an enemy you let work against you. Remember the portion that says, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. It will prosper in this situation if you allow it. When you spend recklessly, your money becomes an enemy to you. But when you save, invest and budget, your money becomes your army fighting for your financial future. Then comes identity. Stop saying I'm bad with money. That's an excuse. Instead, start saying I'm beginning to learn or master money. Even if you're not perfect, because perfect does not exist. Words shape identity, and identity shape action. Once you start seeing yourself as someone who is financially disciplined, your behavior will begin to align. And finally, think long term. Your 20s are just not about today. They are your foundation of your 30s, 40s and beyond. Every small decision you make now, whether to save or invest, or to live within your means, it will echo in the future. The practical framework. Now, I have explained to you, watching right now, the real cost of not managing your finance in your 20s. So let's change that to how to manage your finance in your 20s. Now let's be practical. If you want to avoid the real cost of mismanagement, here is the framework that actually works. Firstly, budget with the 50, 30 and 20 rules. Spend 50% of your income on your needs, 30% on your wants, and 20% on either savings or investment. If your income is small, then flip the script. Save first, then adjust in spending on what's left. Because if you want to save after spending, you will never save. And secondly, build an emergency fund. Start small, even if it's 10 to 20k. Over time, grow it until you have like about 3 to 6 months save of expense. This is your safety net. You should prepare over life surprises. Then thirdly, stop bad habits. If your debt isn't creating income, it's stealing your future. These are the things that drains your energy and peace of mind, so pay them off aggressively. Fourthly, invest early even if it's small. Don't wait until you're earning big money, whether it's mutual fund or index fund, real estate, savings scheme, or even small side hustle. My dear, just start. The key is consistency. And finally, build multiple streams of income. Don't rely on only your salary. In this digital age, there are countless side hustles you can start with little or no capital. There's freelancing, there's content creation, there's reselling, and there's digital services. The earlier you diversify, the stronger your financial foundation becomes. This framework is not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about creating habits and systems that will guarantee your long-term success. Let me leave you with this version. Imagine yourself at 30, from part A where you ignore managing money in your 20s. You are stressed and burnt in stress, ashamed when emergency happens, and still hustling just to stay afloat. Then in part B, you have built discipline early. You have savings, investment, peace of mind, and the freedom to choose your path. Which version of yourself do you want? Because the decision is being made today, not later. So the real cost of not managing your money in your 20s is losing your freedom, losing your opportunities, and even losing your peace of mind. But the reward of starting now is the life of security, option, and abundance. So take action and start today. And if you want more videos about money and simple practical steps, hit the subscribe button right now and turn on post notification so you don't get to miss any of my videos, because I drop more tips every week. Now for the meantime, I remain your financial preacher. You know me as Happiness Elijah. See you in my next video. Cheers.